Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Josh Elrod with Lifestyle Magazine that you see all over the county called Saline is our special guest, so don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I'm your host, Perry Black, and on this show we have Josh Elrod right here from Saline County, Lifestyle Magazine, Ignite Media, and kind of roundabout way, we've not known each other for a long time, but actually I know your dad, and known your dad for a long time, probably since before you were born. So Josh, tell me about you. Where'd you grow up? Where'd you go to school? I did read the bio that I was given, and I understand you're a Bryant guy.
I am. I from as long as I remember, I guess I was maybe 2 when I moved to Bryant. And at that point, it was a dirt road to a Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
And
what year would that have been?
85.
Yeah, I moved here in 86.
Yeah.
You know, we had, what do we have, like Charbroil. Our post office was like a mobile home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot grow. So I moved here probably 2 years before kindergarten. Went K through 12 through the Bryant school system, and went away for
Were
a
you
little.
an athlete?
I was. I played baseball and basketball.
Oh, way to go.
That was if I had to play baseball and basketball these days at Bryant, it might be harder. But
yeah.
Then I had a good opportunity and enjoyed that for sure.
My daughters, when we moved here in 86 to this beautiful Camelot town with a little street called Reynolds, which was so quiet. You get off the freeway, and what a beautiful, quiet little community. And boy, it didn't take long. This thing took off. About 4,000 people back then. And no McDonald's, no Wendy's, no Taco Bell, just a little mobile home. I think the gas station was in a mobile home. Quiet.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I remember it. It was wonderful.
Well, except the football team didn't know how to win a ball game.
True.
And now they're how many times? 6 times repeat champions, 6A?
6 time and 10-0 this year, so good possibility at another one.
So you grew up in Bryant. Just for transparency, your dad and my brother-in-law have been good friends for I'm probably most all their life.
Yeah, McClellan High School, I believe.
Yeah, way back. That's where my wife graduated.
Yeah.
I don't tell people where I graduated because they might want to check that and verify. That Little Rock Central guy.
Yeah.
And back then, I thought McClellan was farmers.
Well.
And it was country.
Really?
Yeah.
My dad doesn't tell me those stories.
Oh, it was country. And then Little Rock School District co-opted McClellan in much of that part because of all the money that was coming from 65th Street, Scott Hamilton, and all that. And in 86, we moved from Southwest Little Rock here to Bryant.
Yeah.
Moved into Richardson Place, seventh family, I think, to build our own in Richardson Place.
Wow.
And moved in shortly after. Somebody said, "Oh, so you're in the elite neighborhood." And I went, "Really?" Just a nice, quiet little town. I didn't know there was an elite neighborhood in Bryant. But so you grew up here. Your wife, where'd she grow up?
Fort Smith.
Fort Smith. Was she a grizzly or is she a rebel?
She was a rebel, which I don't think they're rebels anymore.
No, you can't have that.
Warriors or something of that nature.
Yeah.
I met her in Bryant just because she moved here for work, but didn't know her. We went to the same college, but never.
What college?
UCA. Yeah, we're both
good
UCA.
School. A good school. My wife went to UCA. My grandson went 1 term to UCA.
Yeah.
Then we talked him coming back here, helped in television here for quite a while.
Very nice.
So, how long you been married?
Good question.
14. You got to do the math?
Yeah, 14 years.
And you have how many kids?
3 kids.
And how old are they?
3, 9, and 13.
So have you found being a parent of a 13-year-old an interesting opportunity?
It has been the most exhausting opportunity. She's fantastic and lovely, very much personality. Between her and her mom, I am definitely got my hands full.
Are they Bryan Hornets or are they Benton Panthers?
Well, that's a great question and new. I have one in both school districts. I have a 13-year-old at Bryant and I have a 9-year-old at Benton.
Now, what is the purpose of that?
Well, I live in Alexander, but before school started, bought a house in Benton. And so we will be moving to Benton, but my daughter being integrated into the junior high was like, Daddy, no, I'm not going. And so now I'm being at Saline County Magazine. Why not have one at both schools? Hard to be any more fair than that.
Yeah, that's just spread the love. That's what we call that.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Bryant, pretty much.
Always.
Can you tell me, you were an athlete? You went to college, UCA.
UCA, yes.
Got a degree in marketing or something?
Marketing, it was a BA in fine arts, and so graphic design was my emphasis, and marketing was a minor on the backside.
And what was the impetus? Is that a word? Offset, is that a word? What was it that inspired you to do Lifestyle Magazine?
Well, so when I went to school, growing up, I was always an art kid. You know, I was a good drawer. I had different stories and things of that nature that led me that way. But, you know, art didn't really house a financial benefit, you know. But when college came, I did graphic design, just started, went from pen and paper to online. And so really my first year of college was when graphic design started to boom. Sadly, it took me 5 years to get through college. So by that time, all the jobs were gone.
Yeah.
And so exiting college, applying for jobs didn't go necessarily my way. So you can't find a job, make a job.
Yeah,
and that's history. That was 08.
Biblically, your gift will make room for you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, faith without blisters is dead. So you've got to do the hard work.
It's been that.
Now, November of 2024, you come out with your 100th edition of Lifestyle Magazine. So how many years? Is that 10 years then?
Actually, I do 6 issues a year, so it's taken me almost 18 years to get to 100 issues.
Wow.
Labor of love, for sure. It's hard to have an 18-year-old, in this case, a magazine. But it's taken a long time to get there. I've dreamed about what I was going to do with this one for almost 4 years now. And so almost didn't happen because of my move. I told my wife, I was like, you know, I don't have the mental capacity to knock this out. And she said, you talked about it for almost 5 years now, you're going to do it. And I was like, you're right. Let's knock it out.
Well, when I played football, I know that's always a shock for people, but I played football at Little Rock Central High School, and I remember walking into Quigley Stadium downstairs, what we called the dungeon or whatever, and there was a poster on one of the pillars, and it stuck with me. It said, champions give 110%. And we just think, you know, life's 50-50 or whatever, but you've got to have tenacity, stick-to-itiveness, in order to be successful and to live your life's purpose. We're going to take a break here in just a moment because I'm going to talk a little bit, what role does faith play in your life, your family, and in Lifestyle Magazine? And so we're going to take a brief break, watch a brief video, and we'll be right back.
Hi there, I'm here to tell you everything you need to know about Arkansas Christian Academy. Are you ready? Okay, let's go. Our name is Arkansas Christian Academy, but most of us just say ACA around here. Our mascot is this guy. Go Knights! Founded in 2001, ACA has grown from only a few classes to having classes in pre-K all the way through 12th grade. As far as class sizes go, we were smaller on average across the board, and we use this to challenge our students academically and individually on a personal level, learning through the lens of God's Word in every subject and growing a personal relationship with Him through our amazing staff and in our daily chapel classes. For a full breakdown, check out our website at archristian.org, and feel free to explore other aspects of our school while you're there. Now, let's go outside. Our still growing campus sits right off I-30 and is protected by gates and doors with magnetic locks, only accessible by faculty and staff. We also have these guys here every day. But seriously though, safety is a priority here at ACA, as we want to ensure not only a quality education, but an environment where learning can flourish without fear or other outside distractions. Now, let's move on to the fun stuff. Here's a shot of our football field, a playground, some kids, another playground, our main gym, a football field again, and this is our brand new middle school. What else?
What about extracurricular activities?
That's right, here at ACA, we offer all different kinds of sports, but that's just the beginning. We have a broadcasting class, spoiler alert, it's really cool, a music and worship program, theater, and a thriving art program complete with a very active yearbook committee.
Wow.
There you have it. Schedule a tour today and find out what all the buzz is about at Arkansas Christian Academy.
Hey, welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Our special guest is Josh Elrod, and he is the founder of Lifestyle Magazine that many of you have probably seen right here in Saline County at a restaurant or a hotel or somewhere.
I always say if you can sit there for longer than 5 seconds, you better find the magazine sitting beside you. That's my goal.
So when you founded Lifestyle Magazine, did you say 18 years ago?
Yes, sir.
What was your goal at that time for Saline County?
Well,
because Saline County was fairly small 18 years ago.
It was. I was 25 years old. I had a vision but no background. And so I had a Word document printed on a white sheet of paper, going as a young kid to business owners trying to pitch a dream.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know if the first one would ever come out, to be honest with you.
Who was your first client?
My dad, actually. They were building Mount Carmel, which
Yeah.
you spoke about. They were building Mount Carmel, so they had
Off of Boone Road.
Off of Boone Road. They had a subs list of plumbers and window people and flooring people. And so I told my dad, I was like, you know all these contacts, will you help me get in with them?
Yeah.
We pitched a meeting to some of his subs, and they were kind of my first maybe 5 to 6
Yeah.
that got the ball rolling, the engine rolling, and then, you know, the big people in the community that are everywhere.
Yeah.
seem
Just
to follow.
so everybody understands, so you said they, you're talking about Randy Jones.
Yes, sir.
My brother-in-law.
That's right.
Jimmy Elrod, your dad.
Correct.
Probably Tim Martin,
He
one
was
of the
at the time.
builders.
He was.
He was my next door neighbor.
Was he?
Yeah.
I was probably there. I was best friends with his son,
Yeah.
Zach, growing up. So I probably saw you in the yard as a kid.
So can you tell me more about Lifestyle Magazine?
Saline County was growing. It was booming. Other towns, Little Rock, Maumelle, even Conway, started to have these lifestyle publications for bigger towns. This town had a niche market that hadn't been tapped yet. And so with my background in art, it was just a natural fit with a town that was ready to accept something like that. And so the two were, you know, just blended right place, right time. And it just, like I said, it was the first magazine I remember delivering it and feeling this feeling of like, wow, I've done something. And at that point, I was like, I've done something, but now I need to do it again. And I was like, maybe I'll get a year out of this. And then, you know, one magazine turned to 6 turned to 100, and, you know, it's still going stronger than ever.
Comes out every 2 months. So the magazine comes out every 2 months, and it's solely sponsored by those who advertise in the magazine.
100%. There's the way I pay for printing, for writers, for photographers, it is all ad-driven magazine. So there's no subscription. It's free to take publication. So over the last 18 years, I found over 300 businesses that I know exactly where to place them and get them to get the most out of it.
So I guess probably when you were born, your dad was the administrative financial guy at Temple Baptist on Interstate 30?
Correct. Yes. Yep. That was my life. I lived at Temple Baptist Church.
So you probably were born in the nursery?
I was born in the nursery. I think the day after I came out, I was already, you know, in the nursery arms.
So at what point did your dad move away from Temple and partner with Randy? And
he went through Temple, and I then got into insurance. He was in MetLife sales. He dealt with the senior citizens at Temple. He was in the Young at Heart program, and he had a natural fit and love for that. So did some insurance and realized that wasn't his love either. And so some situations with his parents and the care they had kind of led him into Mount Carmel.
So did you grow up? At what point when you moved to Bryant as a little bitty boy?
Yeah.
Where did you attend church when y'all moved to Bryant?
There.
At Temple?
Yeah, Temple all the way until I went to college. There was no church that I
Where do you go now?
I go to New Life Baptist Church on Zuber Road. Yeah.
Beautiful church, coming in several years ago from the country,
Yeah.
coming from the backside of West Little Rock.
out there.
And just here in the middle of this beautiful community is this rather large New Life Baptist Church. Got lots of friends that go over there.
It's blown up over the last couple of years. It's really a neat place.
Well, how come? Why did it blow up? What's contributing to the growth? What are y'all doing?
Pastor John Venable he's a passionate guy, loves people, loves his community, and it's just, they just do it
How old
the
is
right
he?
way.
How
I
old
would
is
guess
Pastor
he's
John?
my age. I would guess in his low 40s if
Yeah.
I had to guess.
Yeah. Well, we started Family Church in 1990. I was 39, and that's 34 years ago. Do the math. Oh, my gosh. I still see myself as a young guy. Nobody else does. So you go to New Life now. So tell me about your new life. Since you were raised going to church, a lot of our viewers, I'm sure, were raised going to church, told about all the things in Scripture. So at what point did you come to a saving relationship?
Well, I call it a PK, a pastor kid. I wasn't a pastor kid, but in theory, because I grew up at church with him, all I knew was church. At 8, I was saved, wanted to get baptized, do the thing that the friends were doing.
Got baptized at Temple?
At Temple, I sure did. And then probably, I guess 12 or 13 during a youth session there, a great youth pastor, I realized, I felt like I was just following a trend, right? And really turned my life over there around 12. But then living in a sheltered pastor-kid family and then going off to college,
Freedom.
The world changes, your mind changes.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't have to wake up and go to church anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have to.
A bird out of the cage.
That's right. And I had a long gap, where I was, out of church. But
yeah, church growth. They tell us so many young adults like you and like us really begin to question things about faith at 18, and but generally that there's a coming back to the importance of that. Were you already married?
No. I got married late. I was in college, running roommates and so forth like that. And I got back into church. I went to New Life Church, not New Life Baptist, but New Life Church, which was in a bowling alley in Maumelle at the time. Yeah. And so that church is what got me kind of back in the flow of things. Yeah. And was fairly regular until it started here in Saline and helped with that startup. But yeah, it's been growing up in church. You have a problem. I have a problem with wanting to be perfect, wanting to be seen as perfect.
Yeah, well, good luck on that.
It was never something that I could achieve, which in turn brought shame,
guilt,
and so
self-condemnation.
That's what made getting away from church easier, because when you're not there, you don't feel it, or I didn't. Yeah. And so anyway, that's kind of my surround.
We're going to take a break, Josh, and we're going to watch a video of Project Zero. They gracious to share these with us, with children that are waiting to be adopted. And they are praying that somebody watching right now will be moved by the Spirit of God and open their homes to children in waiting. We're going to be right back with Josh Elrod.
Family is an abundance of joy in a place where you feel warmth and happiness without having to do anything. Adoption is scary, but sometimes you get excited by the thrill of meeting new people. My name is Magnus, and I'm 17 years old. If I had a superpower, I think I would want it to be teleportation.
What would you do with that power?
Visit everybody I know, go around the world, travel, learning new cultures and how they work. I'm gonna be a senior. I guess I'm sad because I liked going to school. Most kids really hate it. I don't, but it's just more of a place that I can get to know others and others can get to know the real me without having other people tell me what I have to do and not having to do, basically. I'm going to go to a community college and I'm gonna be a tattoo artist. Same as always. I really like reading. I also do poems, but they're not the brightest. They're kind of depressing, which is sad, but it works out. It's just feelings and the darkness that's in the world, basically.
Why do you write? Does that do something for you?
Makes me feel like I'm actually showing people a part of me without having to talk about it. I'm not really a big talker. I usually stay to myself.
That's the power of art. Say things that you can't always say through just having a conversation.
Yeah. I want to open a store, because I really like drawing, I like painting, I like doing ceramics, having a tattoo shop, and also it mixed with whatever I've made. It'd be pretty fun. It's just basically a bunch of art around me that I love.
What's gonna be your first tattoo?
I am going to get angel wings on my shoulder with my sister's name.
So what kind of family are you looking for?
Just somebody who accepts me.
What keeps you hopeful that you might find a family?
I guess my current situation and where I am now.
What do you mean by that?
So, I'm in a group home, and most of the girls who are in that group home are getting adopted. So it's just like hoping that maybe that'll happen.
Hey, welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Josh, just watching those videos, our goal is to let people not just know there's a crisis in foster care and kids that are waiting and praying for a forever family, an adoptive family. And Second Chance Youth Ranch, we're a placement agency. We can help walk people through this difficult process. And we work very diligently to simplify the process and to get people to open their homes to foster or to mentor or to adopt. And you just told me something off camera I was not aware of. You're an adoptive dad.
I am.
Tell me, what moved you and your wife to adopt 13 years ago? And what have you found as a result of being I don't even know how you call yourself an adoptive dad. You're just a dad.
Yeah. I tell you, if I'm truthfully honest, it was my wife is the one that pushed the situation. It was something that scared me to death.
Yeah.
You know, life isn't the same. You know, she is equal a part of our family as anybody, and it's one of the larger blessings that I've experienced.
Yeah. Any challenges having a teenager?
Every challenge, yes, every day, every day. You know, if it was a boy teenager, maybe I could relate, but I didn't go through the things that girls go through, and especially girls of these days in technology. I mean, it's just, I mean, it blows. Every day is a lesson.
How old was she's 13 now? How old was she when she became a part of your family?
Well, she came to us to live with us at 7, but she wasn't adopted into the family until she was 11. So we had her in our family with full custody for
So were you
years.
technically foster parents?
We claimed to be parents in her mind, but we always had a goal of allowing her to go back.
Be reunited with her family.
Right,
Yeah.
but it just worked out to where she got to be ours, you know, and so it's been a full circle, but it's a blessing.
All right, so let's talk faith now.
Yeah.
So faith has always been a part of your life. From the time you were born, your dad's a minister. That brings a lot of additional pressure, being a preacher's kid.
Sure.
I didn't have that luxury of being a preacher's kids. My mom had a drug problem. She drugged us to church every Sunday. So my dad actually had an alcohol problem. And after 18 years of marriage, my mother just decided she couldn't do that anymore. We'd been a foster family for years. And we moved. My mother moved. My sister was already married, so she moved me, my brothers, and my sister, my youngest sister, to the Methodist Children's Home in Little Rock. And 110 kids at the Methodist home back then at 20th and Fillmore. So that's always been my heritage.
Yeah.
And growing up, my mom's best friends worked for DCFS. And so I grew up, like so many of my age, wanting to change the world and help the underprivileged. And then I came to know Jesus Christ as my personal Savior October 26, 1972. And that shift went from social to spiritual social. And so that's been the part of my life. So we got about 4 minutes in this segment. What role does faith play in your life, your family, and in Lifestyle, the whole purpose of Lifestyle magazine?
Well, faith is honestly everything. I have, talking about issues, I have control issues, and I want to do it myself. I want to know that this is me. I'm going to do this. If I have it in front of me, I'm going to control it. And as you know, that never works. It's like, you know, and so I just in this recent magazine, hardest magazine I've ever put out. It's something I've never done before. It's a new magazine, a new style that had a lot of moving parts. And honestly, I thought I could control it. And it came down to yesterday was my print deadline, and the deadline came and it went, and I hadn't finished, you know, and I didn't know where to turn but a quick prayer, right?
Yeah.
And 5 minutes later, a phone call comes through my printer that they've worked things out for me to move it to this morning. So that's a simple thing, but it's the most recent thing.
Yeah.
And just understanding that it's not in my hands, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I do what I do today, the reason anybody advertises with me, the reason I've done this for 18 years is nothing in my power, but everything that's God given me, you know?
Yeah, I don't even recall why we chose to advertise in Lifestyle Magazine. But we've supported the magazine for
long time.
You know, again, I'm older, so qualify my statement. As long as I can remember, we've been a part of Lifestyle Magazine.
If I would have to guess, I would say it was 12 years ago we did an article first on Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Yeah.
We've since done one on Family Church and some other opportunities, maybe even Arkansas Christian Academy. I'm not 1,000% sure, but we've done a lot of things throughout the years, and that's really why I love the magazine. The people I meet, the things that I see, the things that I learn by doing my job, it's just been the greatest joy in what I do.
How many people, well, I don't know if you call them clients or supporters, how many organizations are supporting the magazine and getting their information out to the public?
So I keep a running file. In 18 years, I have worked with 532 businesses in Saline County.
Way to go.
532 have committed and run an ad of some variety in 18 years. Now, not continually through 18 years, but sometime throughout that. I do have regulars. But so, yeah, I mean, I've seen businesses come and go, and we're still running strong.
What's your distribution every month right now?
Right now, we print 6,000 and deliver them to, like I said, over 300 locations. We have a very good presence online. We have a virtual edition flip book that receives about 60 unique views a day. So, combined total of print and online, we get probably 23,000 viewers.
Wow.
Yeah.
And in our most recent 100th anniversary edition that was released in November around Thanksgiving, we're in that magazine.
Yes, sir.
And I said, well, I want to advertise Arkansas Christian Academy, Family Church Bryant, and Second Chance Youth Ranch.
That's right.
So we're kind of three clients.
That's right,
in
3 in 1.
Yeah, we're better than a search mint. You know,
that's right.
Two mints in one. One's a candy mint, one's a breath mint. We're 3 in 1.
There you go.
Kind of like a fine old machine, if you catch my 3-in-1 drift there. So we got 1 minute. What is it you'd like people to know about how they can be involved in Lifestyle Magazine or a business that wants to advertise?
Absolutely. Every magazine, if you're familiar with it or not, every magazine has a theme that's dedicated to what cover to cover the magazine is based on. And so there's opportunities for articles depending on themes, which I put out. Then there's advertising opportunities that's open for anybody. I say this about advertising. If you own a business, it's like, if you own a business and don't advertise, it's like winking at a girl in the dark. You know what you're doing, but they don't.
Nobody else does.
What's the point if you don't get your message out there? And so our magazine is a perfect platform to wink in the light, bring in the knowledge.
And that's why this show is on the air, because I don't believe at winking at girls in the dark. We want to get the message of fostering, mentoring, and adopting and changing the world one heart at a time through media, ministry, and through prayer. So we thank you for watching this show, and we'll see you next week right here at Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Bye-bye.